Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today this video is going to be going up September 7th, which will be Thursday, but it's actually still the 6th. It's a little after 6 in the evening now, starting to finally cool down, which is nice. It's been an extremely hot day. So what we're going to talk about in this video is dealing with extreme heat. Alright, when you're working on things in this type of heat. And see, here's the other thing. I think what a lot of people, we're so used to is this. This is what we're used to. Air-conditioned car to air-conditioned house. Not dealing with the weather, in any way, shape, or form when the weather is bad, right? But the reality is this, and again, I'm always going to go back to a grid down situation because, again, that is the most plausible thing that could possibly happen. In a grid down situation, folks, there's not going to be any air conditioning. Unless you have a backup power source with unlimited power, unlimited batteries, and those type of things. Like, I'm going to give you an example. Now, we had a sunny day today. The batteries, I had run the air conditioning for a little while yesterday, twice. The batteries this morning were at like 40-something%. And we had a sunny day today. And the batteries only ended up getting up to about 86%. Now, I'm trying to remember, did I run that air conditioning? I ran it. Did I run it this morning? I don't know if I did or not. I don't think I did. But the batteries are at 86% right now, which is in good shape. And I'll probably run in the camper for maybe a half an hour just to cool it down. Right now it's ridiculously hot in there, but I have that source, an alternative source. But if you're relying on the grid to keep you cool, especially if you live in the South, and West Virginia is more southern than New York, but it's not really, I guess not considered the South. But you get down into Florida, Louisiana, Texas, you're talking about Alabama, some extremely hot temperatures in those states. All right, and air conditioning is the only thing that makes you be able to deal with that, especially Florida. Let's go with Florida. Let's talk about that, right? That's the only thing that makes it doable, is that. And so the problem is, if there is no way to keep cool, what are you going to do? What's your game plan? Without power, you're going to have a lot of people dropping like flies because of the heat. Especially if you live in, a mobile home or a camper. It gets ridiculously hot and it's like a tin can. It's just going to heat up. And there's no way to stay cool in that situation. And if you're in Florida, the water table is so high, it's not like you can have some kind of underground thing because your water table is so high, you're going to probably hit water if you get down a couple of feet. So, that's an issue. So you have to have a game plan of what you're going to do. The important thing too, especially if you're working outside in any kind of heat, is staying hydrated, making sure you're drinking plenty of water, and making sure you're doing those type of things, because if you're not, it can be deadly. I have had heat stroke. It is not fun. It was not a good time. It is a horrible, horrible feeling. When you're in the middle of it, you don't realize it until afterwards, and then you suffer. You really truly suffer. And then trying to get your body temperature to cool down and to get dealing with those type of things, it's a very, very difficult thing. So we've been dealing with some extreme heat across the entire nation, and it's funny because it's like I love when okay, right now we hit 90 degrees here today. That's hot. Okay. I don't care, I don't care if, where I am at, it's 100 degrees. Well, great. Guess what? Hot is hot, okay? So 100% humidity and hot is still hot. So, you don't have to tell me, oh, it's so much hotter where you are. I get it. It's hot all over the place. But for here, we're not used to it being quite this warm. And so, dealing with that, I know up in New York, they're dealing with extreme heat up there as well. So, I mean, it's all across the country, folks. And, people die of heat stroke all the time, And, again, the power goes out. That's going to be a real issue down the road. And how are you planning? Okay, so here's a question, for one of the questions for this video, right? What's your game plan? If the power goes out, how are you going to stay cool? If you live in Arizona If you live in California in the deserted areas, you know, if you live in Nevada, if you're in Vegas hanging out having a great time in Vegas and the power goes out, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? How are you going to stay cool? So, you know, those are things that I don't think people think about. They don't plan for. You know, again, it's the 3 B's. Everybody's always so focused on the 3 B's, and you have to think of alternative things. Again, underground bunker, right? Let's talk about that a little bit. That's an area that we can utilize to stay cool in extreme heat, because it's going to be much cooler under there once we get under and are dug in and doing what we're doing over there. It's going to make a huge difference, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. And so this just, you know, again, this is something that people don't plan for. I definitely want to have that plan, you know, and we're working on that. And if we're in a spot where we're dealing with crazy hot temperatures, well, guess what? If we have enough of a situation over there, we can go underground. Where's she at? In the pavilion. Oh, okay. Oh, I see her. But again, I definitely want to hear your feedback on this. Do you have a plan to stay cool during extreme heat? Because just like the cold will kill you, the heat will kill you as well. You know, there's a reason why in certain parts of the world they work first thing in the morning. They take the afternoon, the hot part of the day off, and then you know, and then work again in the evening. There's a big reason for that, because you know, you're working out there in the middle of the day, in the middle of that heat. It will wear on you, you know, especially if you're not having any rain and water, you know, to be able to, if you don't have a creek that you can go in and cool off in the creek, or a pool or something like that, it can be very difficult. So some things to think about, some food for thought. I definitely want to hear your guys' feedback on this. I want to hear what you guys have to say, because I think that it is very important. Having a plan. Make sure you have a plan. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? You know, one of the examples for us, we got Mark's Cabin. It's probably 20 degrees cooler at Mark's Cabin at all time. Over in the big blue house where Steve is, he's tucked into the woods as well. It's always going to be cooler there because it's out of the direct sunlight. So that makes a big difference in what you're dealing with. Now my camper sits out in the middle of here with no kind of shelter over the top of it, and it heats up like a tin can. So it gets really warm in there. So those are things you have to think about, folks. All right. Anyway, I am going to jump off of here for now. I hope everybody's having a great week. I hope your week is going well, getting things taken care of. I'll show you this. I went today. My appointment is on Friday to get my window fixed. So what they did temporarily, because we do have rain in the forecast, they vacuumed this out and got a lot of the glass out of here, which was very cool. Put this plastic on here is a temporary thing so that I can utilize that now, and if it rains I'm not going to get the entire truck soaked, which is a good thing. But I'm going to have the new window. They had to order it, of course, and so that will be here, and they'll get that done on Friday. So looking forward to having this back to being squared away and in good shape again. So it's always something, though. It's always something. But anyway, guys, remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we're going to be in much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us over race, religion, political affiliation, the vaxxed, the unvaxxed. All that stuff is nonsense. It means nothing. You know, we have to come together as human beings. That's the important thing. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goal is you. That's it. Nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. All right? Have a great day, everyone, and I will talk to you later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.